So it's Sally and it's day 7 of Lester's 6 Steps to Freedom. And everything is lifted that was happening over the last few days. And I started to realise that you can't really follow one person's way because they're in a different place from you when they start. So then I made this assumption that I would have to go into my past and work out what had got me to where I was now. And I almost thought about that with such glee that I could say, oh yes, it was my mistrust in people. I was angry and jealous. Yes, that was it. Oh good, I can spend hours torturing myself over that again. But I think that's not it either. So I've just been on Ralph Zeitlin's call and I just got angry about something. Somebody had cancelled something I didn't want them to, and I felt furious. And then as I got on the call, it dissipated. And I spoke to Ralph and he said, you can do that with everything. And I was explaining to him that I was mistrustful and angry, and all the list I'd come up of characteristics that had got me into this situation instead of the one I thought I wanted. And he just said, you can release it all now. He focuses on the wants. So I want to change the past. I want my money back. I want to be secure. I want. And he says, of course the mind will come back and tell you you can't, but you can release all of those things now. And the example I used to work with him on was that I often find myself criticizing everybody in my mind. Not everybody, it's usually I have a couple of themes. And realizing today what a pointless waste of time that is, and how it actually can ruin. I can be in my favourite place in the world and criticising somebody. And since the criticism is only happening in me, it's no difference from being criticised. Like criticise, it's the same. And so he just said, so what are you wanting when you're criticising? And I said, wanting control of my mind. I should be better than this. I should be above this. I don't like it. I should be above it. It ruins my nice days. And so then he said, well, can you let go of wanting control of your mind? Like, well, obviously, since you don't know what you're going to think next, you're going to have a struggle controlling your thoughts, aren't you? So once you take the wanting out, it loses the charge. And it's miraculous, but it works. So going back to Lester's question, of course, as we do every day. So in all of this, these stories about how this really works, how I'm going to do it, how to do it better than other people, which is another theme. How to become a different person. Pretending I'm not trying to become a different person. And how am I trying to make the world real? Well, in this case, it's pretty obvious. Believing my own narrative, believing there's a place I can get to, believing that if I was better, different things would happen. It's all of that whole narrative that there's a me that I need to control, and that by wanting to control, I'll get control, like Ralph just said on the call. Thinking you need to survive, I've got to survive, I want to survive. It's quite counterproductive. And I know that from working with people. It can be extraordinary when you can't see your own loops that are actually harming you and you think they're keeping you safe. I think we all probably have had experience of that. So, yeah, wanting a control, approval, security, separation, and oneness more than wanting freedom. And saying to myself, you can have freedom if you get control of your mind. You can have freedom if you get approval from people. You can have freedom if people think you're good. You can have freedom if you're secure. It's like, how can that possibly be wanting freedom more than you want those things? Because in the whole argument, there's the wants. So that's why the Sedona Method works, because it just cuts to the quick, cuts to the chase, maybe is a better way of saying it. Yeah, so that's me for today. And yeah, I guess I feel, one last point, I guess I feel quite inspired by having been able to go into the darkness of the last few days, and now there's really no trace of it at all. A lot of releasing, some crying, can't remember what about now, but anyway, but it has released, and so who knows what's coming. Every day is a surprise. So thank you for your attention.